everyone. This is Puck Culture with Madison
and Chris.
Start with trade deadline with this one
So,
again.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because
it was kind of a big deal.
Yeah. There were some meh trades, and then there were some what the fuck is happening trades, and then there's like, oh shit, that's great for that team type trades.
Not too many mad trades, though. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. But there's always going to be those few where you're just like, meh, like it doesn't really impact you or your team, or so, like it doesn't really do too much to that team or anything. Like for those teams, like it's just like, kind of
trades for the sake of trades.
Yeah. But there were some, there was a few that were just like, holy shit, like I can't believe this person's being traded kind of moments.
All right, well, let's start with that. What was that trade for you?
That was Marchand, honestly.
Yeah.
That one, and for a pick. It's rough. He's the captain. He was the captain. Like he was been there his whole career. Like that sucks. He's only got a few seasons left.
maybe a few seasons left.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, it had to have been at least a first round pick, right? I'm pulling it up.
I'm scrolling up right now because I was at the bottom of this. It was a where is he?
I've got the article about him being traded, but I'm not seeing what the conditions. Oh, here we go. Conditional second round pick.
Yeah.
That let's see. So Boston receives conditional second round pick in 2027 that would become either a 27 or 28 first round pick if Florida wins 2 rounds in the Stanley Cup playoffs this season and Marchand plays at least 50% of the Panthers postseason games. Interesting.
Yeah.
So the first part, Marchand being traded was shocking.
Yes.
Did not think it was going to happen. Mainly because he's injured. Like aside from the fact that he's got a modified no move and said, I don't want to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that the day came and they got him to agree to lift it, he's still injured.
Yeah.
So he's traveling with the team, but they don't know if he's going to play.
So if he doesn't play in the playoffs, then that conditional situation,
and it stays as a second round pick.
Yeah, like, and a second round pick in 2027, like for Marchand, like it's very it just doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel like an equal trade, and it kind of feels like the Bruins valued him pretty low, at a low amount.
Well, let's see. Let me pull this up. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Marchand's contract is up at the end of the season. Whoops. And just out of habit, I pulled up Boston's Puckpedia. They're not going to have that information anymore.
Because he's no longer in Boston.
Let me switch that to Florida. It's so weird. He's one of those players I can't wrap my head around.
I can't imagine him in any other jersey, honestly.
Yeah, so his contract's up at the end of the season. Like, if he wants to, and he may already have a handshake agreement in place of go to Florida, win the cup, re-sign with Boston next season.
That could be a possibility, but it still just seems a little off, a little weird. He's not there anymore.
I don't know how Boston fans would feel about that.
I know Boston fans are upset that he's gone, like really upset.
Yeah, but if he comes back, like, do they view him as fuck you, you traitor, you left us to go win a cup, and now you come crawling back, or it's good for you, you did what was right. Thank you for coming back. We appreciate you.
I think it would be a thank you for coming back, honestly. Just based off of what I'm seeing with the fans and how they reacted with him being traded, like, I think they would love it if he came back.
Because I do have, like, Boston fans are ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
But, they do have a history of being kind to their own, like when it's
Yeah.
deserved. When you look at Ray Bork and what he did, like none of them were upset that he left and won a cup. They were all happy that he was able to win a cup.
Yeah.
So I hope that's the case. I would love for him to go do well. I don't want Florida to win the cup again.
I don't. Yeah, they won one. They don't need another one just yet.
Yeah.
They can wait some time.
I would love them to win 2 rounds with him playing half the games and get the pick better for Boston, and then losing the conference finals and Brad's resign in Boston. That's my perfect world.
Okay.
And they lose to Florida, or they lose to Toronto.
That was my biggest, like, holy shit, I can't believe they traded him. I don't know if you had any other ones. That was like pretty much
That's the big
that's the
holy
big
shit.
one. Yeah.
Like there were some where I'm just like, I don't know if he'll actually go, and then he went. So I was like,
Yeah.
Or like Brock Nelson was.
Oh yeah.
I was fairly certain he was going to go.
Yeah.
But it's Lou Lamoriello, so you never really know what's going on. And him
True.
going to Colorado was.
That was the weird one.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him there.
Yeah. That was a very weird switch of, like, I was not expecting him to go to Colorado. I think we got to talk about the Miko one, Miko Rind, because that one's that's the biggest, like,
That's the biggest what
happening?
The fuck, but it's not the same as Marchand leaving Boston.
No, it's not. I think it's what the fuck in the sense of the drama all around it, like Toronto asking Marner if he would waive his no move clause, so that for a trade with the Carolina, and he was like, nope, when he's about to be a freelance, like a free agent
So,
at the end of the season.
I mean, that part would like be a free agent either way. But, at least from what I've been listening to, it's not like Toronto was selling Marner.
Okay.
They didn't go to him and say, "Hey, we want to trade you for Rantanen." Carolina said, "Hey, we want Marner. Can we make this happen?"
Yeah, that's the way it was worded what I read, and it was literally just like a sentence. Was that it sounded like Carolina asked for Marner, and then Toronto asked him if he was willing to waive his no move, and they were like, "Nope." He was like, "Nope."
Well, and Toronto, from what I've heard, did put together a package that is supposedly more than what Dallas offered or Rantanen, and Carolina shot it down
because it didn't have Marner.
It did not have Marner, but it did have.
They wanted Marner
and better prospect, or maybe not better prospect, but different prospect.
They wanted Marner, and then come to find out with Carolina, it was today that they talked about how Rantanen got there and pretty much said he does not want to play for that team. Yeah.
Which is weird because it seems like the culture in Carolina is great.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people are not understanding, because like there's so many people who like being there, who want to go play there. The office is great and all that kind of stuff. But he was like, nope, don't want to be here.
Well, so for Mikko Rantanen in particular, how many Finnish players are on the Hurricanes?
There's quite a bit.
There's so many. Like it would be you would think it'd be a great fit, but their owner notoriously doesn't like paying high prices for players, and Rantanen was looking to cash in rather big.
Yeah.
And also, if you remember a few weeks ago when we talked about the worst locker rooms and worst facilities, everyone said Carolina.
True. Yeah, everybody didn't like that part of Carolina.
So if you're going from Colorado with lovely atmosphere, great people, and awesome facilities to someplace that's less than, okay, I get it. And also being traded out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a little jaded, or a little more jaded than he should be.
Yeah. But now he's Dallas's problem.
Who is the other team that is half Finnish. So it's
he's got
You should be happy there.
Hopefully, I hope for him, or I don't know. I don't know who to hope for in this situation.
What I'm hoping for in this situation is, let me pull it up. I think we're almost there. Let me scroll down, scroll down. Yeah. So currently, what I'm hoping for is happening, and that's a Dallas, Colorado first round for the playoffs. Right now, it's locked
That
in,
will be
and
messy.
I don't see it changing.
That will be messy.
But yeah, Carolina shit the bed on that one. They
Mm-hmm.
traded away a great player who has been great with his new team in Martin Nietzsche. But they got, essentially at this point, they traded Nietzsche for Taylor Hall, which,
Yeah.
not great.
Yeah.
Not
No,
great, Bob.
no, it's no.
They got what, like 6 games out of Rantanen? 9 games?
Not
Only 2
many.
of them at home.
Yeah.
Only a couple of points. Like, he did absolutely nothing for them. I mean, yeah, they got a lot of picks when they traded him to Dallas. I think it was 2 first and 2 thirds, or 2 first and 2 seconds, plus Logan Stankoven, who is an awesome young guy. Like that I think they did great on. But yeah, it's when you break it all down, they did not do well.
Mm-mm.
So, the first round picks are great, 3, 4, 5 years from now. But
To get you through possibly
to win
playoffs and
this
stuff,
year,
yeah, it's not going to do you any good. So it's a rough situation. Um, how do
now
you
Dallas
feel?
might be the best team in the Central.
Yeah,
Second best.
yeah. How do you feel about the Kings trade?
I'm very happy with it.
I'm glad we did not give up much.
We didn't
I'm
give up
very,
basically anything.
yeah, we really didn't, which makes me very happy. Because I was nervous that they were going to just start throwing players into the mix to get somebody. And the fact that we got somebody without having to give up a player is kind of a nice feeling.
Yeah, we did what every fan base wants is, we got a decent player with giving up next to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned earlier, a second for Marchand. We gave up in 2027. Kings gave
Yeah,
up a third
third.
for
Yeah.
Kuzmenko,
And
who,
got a seventh round pick for 2025 on
yeah,
top of him. Yeah.
and I think there's Kuzmenko's up at the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
But like, so here's my thing. On Friday, I was following along everything on the Athletic, and the second this broke there, I'm like, let's see what they have to say. And it was Kings overpay for Kuzmenko. Was their
That's
little
the way
one line about it?
that's what they said.
That
We
yeah, the overpay. I'm like, it was the
overpaid,
third 2 years from now. Like, who cares? Like,
right?
fire that pick into the sun. Now,
We
admittedly,
gave away Spence, like a lot of people were speculating was going to be the player to be traded away, then yeah, it would be an issue.
yeah, but this is only his second year in the league. 23, 23, 24, 24, 25. Yeah. So second year in the league. It is his fourth team now. I don't know if that's him. I don't know if that's language barrier. I don't know if it's his situation. So his
I
rookie year, he was awesome.
I've seen like things that people are saying that he is a nice guy. He's fun to have in the locker room. And Gavi played with him before, so he's got Gavrikov at
They
least.
were
And yeah,
teammates at something in Russia.
yeah. So like he's at least got a friend in Gavrikov and like stuff. He there it could be just a language barrier. It could be the locker room situation that maybe he's not comfortable in. Um, I who knows?
So
But I
here's
liked
my
him in his first two games.
yeah. So far, the Kings
Yeah,
are
yeah,
undefeated with him in the lineup. So
yeah, yeah,
dun, 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 I'll hang my hat on that until they lose.
yeah,
But
yeah.
so rookie year, like, he could have won the Calder probably. I don't remember who he lost out to, but he had 39 goals, 35 assists in 74 games. That's awesome.
That
Only
is.
8 penalty minutes,
Wow.
14 power play goals. Like that's what you're.
That's incredible.
No. Second year, he starts off slow, gets traded to Calgary.
Mm.
And then this year, started in Calgary, started slow, traded to Philadelphia, now in Los Angeles. The thing is, though, he got traded to Calgary with the intention of him filling the hole that Johnny Gaudreau left, that Matthew Tkachuk left, that who's the third one who is in Sean Monahan. Like it's
Yeah.
trying to fill those roles. So he's thrust into a high pressured situation in Canada, which is not a good thing to do.
No.
Cracks there, gets shipped out to Philly, where there's a few other Russian players, which is nice, but you also have John Tortorella as a coach, which if you're not a Torts guy, you're not going to be a Torts guy.
And we've talked about it with the whole like anonymous polls from the players, and he was one
They
of
don't
the
want to play for him.
They don't want to play for him. So like,
unless you're some guys love it and they love the tough love. He probably just isn't one of those guys.
Yeah, and then if he's not one of those guys, LA is a pretty good fit for him.
Yeah,
because
so it's
Hiller's not that out of an angry man.
No. He seems like such a nice guy.
He does.
But like it's a new situation, starting fresh. He has at least one former teammate in Gavrikov. So obviously it was a while ago, but there's familiarity there. It's a chance for him to start fresh, completely different lifestyle from the three other teams he's been on.
Yeah, gets to be on a playoff team.
Yeah. And they got him for the power play, which he's good at. He's right shot. Oh, excuse me. And if it doesn't work out, they only gave away a 3rd round pick 2 years from now.
Yeah. I will say he looked great though out there. I so badly wanted him to get a point just purely for the fact that I didn't know how to pronounce his name with the game that I went to, because it was his first game. So I was like, I need him to have a point so I can just know how to say his name. And then I watched the stream last night and got enough of his name. But it was watching him go out on the ice for warm-ups, because he didn't meet some of the guys until that game, literally at the game, he didn't meet some of the players. So like he didn't have much time to spend coming to LA, and watching him on the ice during warmups and not knowing what to do. It was like watching a kid's first day of school at like a school that they've never been to kind of thing, and not knowing what to do.
That's exactly what it is.
It's exactly what it is. And but I've never watched that in person. And so it was just kind of like funny, like seeing him trying to figure out what he needs to be doing and how to fit in with the routine.
But I think he's going to be, I hope he's going to be a very welcome addition.
He so far seems to be, and he's up there with Kopitar's line with Kempe. Like that's
the other thing. They threw him into a high pressure situation, but I think in this case, you're not expected to be the guy. It's like, here, you get to go play with the guys, and let's just see what you can do.
Yeah. No, he hasn't gotten a point yet, but you know what? It's okay. He's at least creating situations on the ice and helping, and like actually, like he's been very helpful in front of the net with some of his shot chances.
He's only played 2 games, and there's a lot of other people on the team who didn't get points in those games either. So it's
the Vegas game, there was 7 guys with 2 points on the Kings.
Fair. They're eating up all the points, so it's
that was just those guys. 7 guys with 2. There was other guys with just 1.
And then you have poor Kuzi. I love that Kuzi's the nickname.
Kuzi. I was calling him Cusco.
Cusco would be a lot more fun.
I kept calling him Cusco.
It's hockey, so they're not that creative. It's just Kuzi.
It's Cusco. I know it's hockey, but I'm gonna start calling him Cusco. It's gonna be Cusco.
If you can make that work, just the memes you can have.
Right? I need to tweet it.
Some guy tries to hit him in the corner. He dodges it and just goes, no touchy.
See, there's so much gold with it. I should be the one who makes up nicknames for
You
hockey
can make
players.
it work. You just need to start photoshopping his face onto
Cusco.
You can make
Even
it happen.
the llama. Yeah.
Especially the llama.
Yeah. Well, I have a project for myself for this week.
Enjoy.
Yeah. But he's doing great so far, I would say, even though he hasn't gotten the points or anything. Like you said, the Kings are undefeated now with him in the lineup. I know it's only 2 games, but that Vegas game was really important. And the fact that the Kings won that game is huge.
I got real nervous during that game.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Goes to my superstition thing. Every single time the Knights scored, my mom was in the kitchen, and I'm like, I need you to leave.
The house. Fuck out right now.
I need you to go. Like, I even got to the point where it was the Knights just scored their 5th goal, and I was just like, I need to find a room that you're not in to watch this game.
Just go sit out in the car and watch on your phone.
Yeah, because I'm like, I can't. If the Kings lose this one, I'm not going to be happy.
It's your fault, Mom.
But she's just like, I'm leaving. And she left, and the Kings won. So, but it was a very important 2 points with that game. We're still 3 away from Edmonton, but after watching, and the Kings won that series for the regular season, which really makes me think we should be playing Vegas instead of in the first round. We can make it past the first round with the Knights.
Nah, just plan on Oilers now. Kings might get home ice, but
because Oilers
and look at what's going on with the Oilers. Can't buy a fucking win right now. They can't.
They just keep losing. And did you see Skinner has just been not great.
They could have gotten a goalie. There were goalies available at the trade deadline. Why they didn't do it, I don't understand. And I heard, I forget where I listened to it, but someone brought up a very valid point that Edmonton doesn't need someone to replace Skinner. They don't need someone better than him, but they need someone better than Kincaid. Like they need a better backup. They need someone else that they can turn to.
Yeah.
And like you told me, John Gibson couldn't be that guy.
Well, he's injured again, so he played a game and then got injured again, so he keeps getting injured.
Or Peter Mrazek. Mrazek went back to Detroit.
Yeah, he's in Detroit now.
And
and they have Talbot and Lyon right now, so they have plenty of goalies.
They have Talbot, Lyon, like 4 others. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
I do think that they signed one other goalie besides him.
They did. It was a few months ago.
No, there was one during
during this?
During this.
Jesus, how many goalies does Detroit need?
I might be confusing them with someone else, but someone.
Are they planning
goalies?
Are they planning on doing a whole line of just goalies?
They could.
It's all goalies.
No, Chicago got rid of Mrazek because Chicago got Spencer Knight. I might be confusing that. That might be. I have the internet in front of me, but I'd rather just look like a moron. So we'll go with that.
Yeah. I was like, really? They signed another goalie? Because I'm like, do they really need that many goalies? They have them all. They just need them all. They just want them all. They're stealing it from everybody else.
I feel like they just sent one down because I know they have Jack Campbell, but he's playing in the minors. They have Ville Husso.
Is Campbell out of the assistance program? Because he was in the assistance program.
That's right. I don't know if he is or not. But I know another goalie entered the assistance program today.
Yes.
Yesterday.
For mental health. Ingram.
Yeah. Connor Ingram from Utah. Which it is nice that they like, hey, it is mental health. It's not
And I like that he put out a
substance
statement being
abuse.
like, it's not always about substance abuse. It's also there to be used for mental health because unfortunately his mother passed away and he's been having a hard time ever since. And I'm very glad that he has that resource and that outlet and is taking the time to realize that he needs that. And that's awesome that he's going and getting that help.
What's interesting is that so this is his second time there for this. And I think it's his mother passing is re-aggravated
Mm-hmm.
re-aggravated his condition. So it's OCD,
Mm-hmm.
which is also Spencer Knight spent a chunk of time in the program for the same thing.
It wouldn't surprise me if more goalies had OCD.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, is it a goalie thing? Is that just a common occurrence
Well,
because of what they have to go through?
I would imagine I wouldn't be surprised if there is some type of neurodivergency with most goalies, whether it's ADHD, autism, or OCD, something like that, because they are very habitual and routine people in the NHL, like way more so than any other player. They all have their weird little quirks. They get talked about as being weird all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if almost every single one of them has some type of neurodivergency thing.
I mean, it's become a common saying that goalies are weird.
Yeah. And as somebody who is neurodivergent, I would I see it. I understand.
You're like, goalies aren't that weird.
And then I'm like, wait,
One of
yeah.
us. One of us.
Yeah. So it makes sense for them. But I'm glad he's getting the help that he needs and he keeps recognizing it. On the other flip side, though, of somebody who we didn't talk about this yet, the substance abuse, which isn't really, he said it wasn't substance abuse. Ekblad suspension.
Yeah, well, it
20
is a
games.
substance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Abuse might not be the right word.
Yeah.
So, yeah, found, he failed a drug test.
Mm-hmm.
So, for performance enhancing drugs, which again, it doesn't mean that he's taking steroids.
No.
But he took something that had something in it. And according to his statement, he was just unaware, didn't check with the doctors beforehand, which is something that they always say when this happens.
Yeah.
May or may not be true. At least it's better than I ate a piece of steak and the cow must have been injected with it. Because I've heard that one before, and that's ridiculous.
That is stupid.
The interesting thing about this, it kind of goes back to the Marchand conditions a little bit, is that he's out for 20 games.
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers have 18 games left in the season.
So he's gone for the rest of the season and 2 playoff games.
And 2 playoff games. So depending on how everything lands, those 2 playoff games could be critical.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, they would be playing Ottawa, but that could also very easily turn to Columbus.
I'm rooting for Columbus in this situation.
Oh, I would love to see Columbus. If Columbus can knock off Tampa, and then the next time they win a playoff series, a real playoff series, is against Florida, then that's just phenomenal.
I think that
Just
would be
bookend
awesome.
it with the Sunshine State.
I think that would be awesome. That's what I'm rooting for, is for Columbus.
The other option would be if Toronto can win the division, which is very possible. It would be Florida Tampa in the first round, which will just make for good hockey.
Yeah.
And that would leave the potential of Toronto, Ottawa, and the Battle of Ontario, which would just make for good hockey.
Yeah.
So,
but we talked about it. The NHL writers aren't good.
Sometimes for the first round, they usually give us some pretty decent hockey. If it could just be, rivalry after rivalry, that would leave Washington Columbus, who I think, if memory serves correctly, that was who Washington had to beat in the first round when they won the Cup in 2018. And that went 5 or 6 games, so that could be fun. That gets the writers going again. They're like, look, we're
Yeah.
mirroring, 7 years ago.
Well, that makes me think about the which this is not going to happen on the west side, but first round Sharks with the Kings and then second round Ducks with the Kings. And
It's so
it was so much fun. It was so good.
give me all
So
the rivalries. But that's what the Atlantic's shaping up to be right now. Because if Toronto wins, then you get Florida Tampa rivalry, you get Toronto Ottawa rivalry. If Toronto wins, like they've been knocked out by Florida, they've been knocked out by Tampa, they've been knocked out by Tampa a lot. So like that'd just be good hockey. Like I'm really excited about that. The Metropolitan Division, I don't really care anymore. Like Washington's going to win that. I can't see. Like right now, it'd be Carolina and New Jersey in the battle of who gives a shit. Like it's Carolina will win probably because the Devils don't have Jack Hughes anymore.
yeah, he's out for the season. He got surgery.
And Dougie Hamilton's been out and he's week to week, I think. Or he might be down to day, but like it's
Yeah, Devils
they're struggling.
They're struggling. They're at 74 points.
Like it's
I know the Kings are at 75, but like still they're at 74.
the Devils have played 3 more games.
Oof. Yeah, that's rough.
So it's the Metropolitan is just kind of boring right now.
And over in the West, you got
in the West. How about the trades that didn't happen?
right.
How about let's go back to Edmonton for a second. So like they didn't trade for a goalie, which is asinine.
We touched on that because we were like Detroit got them all apparently.
Yeah. So but they didn't do that. They didn't they still have Jeff Skinner. They still have Victor Arvidsson. They still have Evander Kane. Like these are all pieces that probably shouldn't be there. Like they did
nothing.
They did nothing that I can remember. I think they made one little trade.
They did make a trade, but it was like it wasn't much after because we talked about the Frederick trade, but there was one other one that they did.
Yeah, was it just Trent Frederick?
No, there was one more. I gotta find it on here. Jake Wallman.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So
from the Sharks. So like they really didn't do much. Have they just stopped caring? Do they really think that the team they have is going to carry them to?
I think that they have the feeling that just so long as they get to the playoffs, they'll
make it through. Kind of what the Kings mentality is a lot of the time. Where they're like, we have the playoff team. We just need to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the Oilers is just like, you know what, everyone's tired. We went to Game 7 of the final last year, so we need a break. And we'll just cruise in and just steamroll the Kings because that's the way history shows us that's what's going to happen. But I don't. That might not be the case. Like they're dangerously close to the Kings passing them in the standings, and
3 points. 3 points.
I mean, it's a long way to go this time of year, but
that's 3 points. That's like 4 points to completely pass, and that's just 2 games, 2 wins for the Kings. That's 2 losses for the Oilers.
I'm like, oh, can we get the Flames pass and move into? No, that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. And Kings play tomorrow against the Islanders, and then they play the Capitals on Thursday. And so, like,
where Ovechkin's going to score 9 goals.
9 goals. Yeah, 9 goals because he needs 9 now instead of, he let me down the last few games. And
I'd spent half an hour last week on like, here's how it's going to break down. He scored 1 goal, 2 goals.
2 goals. 2.
Yeah.
2.
I broke it down. He needed 11. He scored 2.
Two.
Son of a bitch. Yeah.
What a jerk. I was like, come on. And when Talbot was in goal against the Capitals, I was like, yep, this is what's going to happen.
He didn't get any against Seattle. Like, how?
Nothing. I was like, you let me down, you jerk.
But he got 2. No, it's just 1 last night. I don't know.
Just one. An empty
He's
net.
a bum. Yeah.
He's washed.
He'll just break it till next season now.
Fucking pisses me off.
Or now I hope like he sprains his wrist or something and has to sit out to the last game and he breaks it against Pittsburgh. That's my new hope.
That's your new hope against Pittsburgh. It's probably going to be against I think they play the Red Wings next week, so he's going to score his goals now, and it's going to be against the Red Wings next week.
They did, the newest projection that I've seen is April 6th, I think, against the Islanders.
But that's if he scores like every so often, like he's been doing right now.
Yeah, well, that's up to him.
Yeah, that's really up to him how often he wants to score a freaking goal, which apparently it was 2 in the last few games.
But before that, that's against that's in or on Long Island, whereas the previous projection was against Chicago in Washington. So, I mean, it'd be nice for him to do it at home now that he's not going to do it here. And at least he's not doing it tomorrow against Anaheim.
Yeah, at least we know that we don't have to go to Anaheim tomorrow.
Or if he does do it tomorrow, it'll be the greatest hockey game of all time because that means he'll have scored 9 goals against the Ducks.
What if he scores 8 goals against the Ducks and then 1 against us on Thursday?
I'll be equally as happy.
Okay. Then Luke gets his 4-1 win that he wants to happen.
I know the hockey world and most of Canada hates Wayne Gretzky right now.
Yeah.
But he did say that
him to burn to the ground.
Yeah, once Ovi gets to 5, he's going to start following him around the way Gordie Howe did with him.
Okay.
And so he'll be going from arena to arena so that he's there.
So if he scores 8 tomorrow,
if he scores 8, Gretz is going to be on a plane
to LA.
Can you imagine him waking up? There's like, your ticket's booked. He's like, where? He's like, you got to go to LA. Why? Ovechkin scored 8. Get the fuck out of here! No, no one's ever scored 8 goals in an NHL game.
It would be really funny.
That'd be amazing. He would break a whole new record just by doing that.
And he's already done another record the other day. So, honestly, yeah, let's do it. Now this is my hope. I want Ovechkin to score 8 goals tomorrow night.
I might put the Kings game on my phone and watch the Ducks game on the big screen just to watch him do it.
I could do it at my desk. I could put one game on one monitor, the other game on the other monitor. Yeah, that would be awesome if you could. That would be be an interesting experience.
It'll never happen, but
I mean, he could technically still break it if he did 4 goals with the Ducks and 4 goals with the Kings.
No, that's only ties it. He needs 5 and 1.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Never mind. So
I mean, I'd be happy with seeing the tying goal, but yeah, whatever. It was a long shot.
Yeah, it was. If he never got injured, if he wasn't out,
if he didn't get injured, it probably would.
Yeah, it probably would have happened. Oh well, it's gonna happen. I still think it's gonna happen this season. I don't think it's 9 goals. It's not that many for him. I should clarify for him because there's other players where 9 goals is extremely difficult.
9 goals in 18 games. So he basically just needs a goal every other game.
Yeah.
And he'll be fine.
Yeah. If he doesn't break it, then, we have something to look forward to next season.
It's going to be a hell of a home opener next season.
Yeah. Which I think that would be a good way to do it too, then. But getting it at home is probably going to be a really nice way to do it because you're home. It's in front of your crowd. It's kind of like the whole.
Well, his family will probably start following him around too.
But it's kind of like a Stanley Cup situation. You would much rather want to win at home than at an away arena. Yeah.
doing it in front of your fans, your family.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can understand wanting to get it at home and not on a road trip. Maybe that's why he stopped scoring. He doesn't want it on the road trip.
Now, I think you'll probably have an opinion on this. There's been a lot of talks of the games that get closer to him potentially breaking it. The national outlets are going to carry the game. So it won't be on whichever channel Capitals games are on.
Mm-hmm.
ESPN, TNT, they'll be taking over. And thus having the ESPN, TNT broadcasters call the game instead of
I don't like it.
whomever they have in the booth for them.
I don't like that. Like, I like the fact that it would be national, but I don't like having ESPN or the TNT guys doing it. I think
It's not right.
No, I think it should be Washington Capitals guys doing it because it makes it more special when you get to hear your announcers being with you on that moment.
Well, and I think let me pull this up. I've got the Caps page up in front of me. Do they have it on team equipment, staff, monumental, blah blah blah? I believe that the play-by-play for the Capitals. Need to look this up. Need to give him credit where credit's due. Has called every single Ovechkin goal.
Then he
And so to
deserves.
have him not do it would be
That would be harsh. Like when the Kings won their first cup and it was called by the national broadcasters, like it was okay, like it was a thing. Like I was more in the moment over the fact that the Kings won the Stanley Cup. But then when I got to hear Bob call it, because they still had Bob calling it, just not necessarily on the national on a broadcast, hearing Bob Miller say those words made me so emotional just because he's fucking Bob Miller. Like he is an LA King. Like he never played hockey, but he is an LA King.
Joe Beniotti. Don't think I've ever heard that name before. And Craig Laughlin. Yeah, no, it was nice having Bob and Jim do that. I have the DVD of that game with them calling it.
Me too. So but like that's like your commentators, your broadcasters are what makes those kinds of games special. And having ESPN or TNT, no disrespect to them doing it, it's not as special.
Oh, no, lots of disrespect to them do it. They shouldn't be doing it. I'm curious. I'm gonna do some quiet here because I have. So I have after the Kings won the first cup, they put out a book, and in the back of the book was a DVD of the game with Bob and Jim calling. Just want to hear. Nope. So, but then I also bought the game-winning games for both 2012 and 2016 off of iTunes, which I don't even know if you could still do that.
Oh gosh, I bought mine on iTunes.
Well, just skipped right to a goal.
Nice.
Look at that, 3-0 Kings. Nope, national broadcast. Okay. I was just curious. It's not something that I've actually. It's been a while since I've watched those.
Yeah.
Might need to revisit those.
It's not the same as watching the games, but whenever I go to the games in the arena and they play those moments of the Kings winning, the Caps always just gets me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Edmonton messed up and didn't make trades that they needed to. Vancouver, I think, same thing.
They did like nothing.
Yeah. Elias Pettersson, still a Vancouver Canuck. Both Elias Pettersson, still Vancouver Canucks.
They still have 3 Petterssons.
And Brock Besser, still a Vancouver Canuck. which that one was a little surprising. And for like the 8th year in a row that he's been mentioned in trade rumors, I heard that the Kings were in on him. So I don't know if it was they just didn't offer enough, or if they went, we can give a first round pick for Brock Besser or a third round pick for Andrei Kuzmenko, and went, yeah, we'll spend the third.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Because I would love for Brock Besser to be a King, because I'm tired of Brock Besser scoring against the Kings.
Come score goals for us.
He does it every game.
He does. No, he does. He scores against the Kings every game.
Like it's if we could do sports gambling in California, every time the Kings play the Canucks, I would put money on him scoring.
You would make some good money.
I could retire.
Yeah, with how much he scores on the Kings. Yeah. It's bad.
And it's like, yeah, we have a chance. Can't beat him, join him. Like, just make him join us. Like, it's not that hard. If you want a first round pick, everyone went for a first round pick on Friday.
Maybe Fogel, like I know Fogel came over on free agency, but maybe Fogel could be like, yeah, I used to be on the team that the Kings would lose against, and now I love being with the Kings.
Like,
Maybe.
Vancouver's nice and pretty. It's even better. The ocean. Come on down.
Manhattan Beach.
Well, I guess Vancouver is on the ocean, so I take that one back. But
Manhattan Beach is
warm
warmer.
beach. Yeah.
Yeah. Better weather. You know what we don't have to deal with? Snow.
Yeah, you don't need snow tires.
we get rain.
No one around you knows what snow tires are.
Fairly often. If you want to go see snow, which literally what we call it here is going to the snow, you can.
Yeah, it's an hour drive.
Yeah. But you can still be warmer in California. So yeah. I think we just need to convince some players more often that California is just the way to go for things.
Especially Canadian ones. Like the taxes are even worse up there than they are in California. Just come on down.
And the media doesn't know hockey exists down here.
Yeah, there's no pressure. Life would be so much easier.
You know why? Because we got the stupid Dodgers and the stupid Lakers who take up all the media attention. So you're safe. Even LeBron James doesn't know that there's a hockey team in his arena.
He plays in their building.
Yeah. And he doesn't know who it is. So even LeBron James.
Buster's, the salary probably had something to do with that. Now that I look at it.
Oh.
Besser makes 6.65. So the Kings would have had to have sent somebody back. Maybe not a Trevor Moore, and more than a Jordan Spence. Or they'd have to get Vancouver to retain, which they could have done, but they probably wouldn't have done.
Which is the other thing. The Kings, the Flyers retain only still retain 50% of Kuzmenko's contract, like salary. So Kings really, I feel
Did they retain?
Yeah. They retained 50%.
And he's still making that much. Where'd he go? Oh, good for him. I didn't know that he had signed a contract that big, because the Kings are still paying him 2.75.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. So yeah, the
good
Kings,
for him.
Kings giving up only a pick and getting them to still retain 50%. I think the Kings did a great job. But that could have been a thing is that Vancouver didn't want to retain any of Ozer's contract, and we couldn't give away somebody that would work in a trade, because I'm just thinking of who else there could have been a possibility that they would trade away. It would maybe have to be like a Dano, or
they would have needed to clear about $2 million, $2 and change. So forward wise, that'd be Tanner Jeannot. And
And they
he's the
like
only one who
Jano.
makes that. Yeah.
And they like Jano. I know they like Jano.
Defense, like Jordan Spence is at 1.5, but that's still not enough. So
Yeah.
it would have had to have been multiple players, rostered players. So like, sending them
Yeah.
Akil Thomas, like it doesn't help the deal.
No. But
Or
yeah.
Sammy Hellenius. There we go.
I like Sammy.
Giant. He's awesome.
I really like Sammy. Sammy is one of my faves. I love him very much. I
I
just
want him to
good
do
for
well.
him. Me too. Oh,
His fight in Vegas was adorable.
it was the fact that I thought it was funny the timing of them switching to their left hands at the same time because they couldn't get their right hands going. It was just
The script writers, that's what it was.
Yeah. It really was.
Okay, 3 and 4 and switch.
This is something we haven't touched on with the whole us getting a new guy though and running 12-6. Lewis has been scratched both games.
I'm okay with it. Lewis should have been scratched for most of the season.
He really should have. I'm okay with Lewis just being a locker room presence guy. He still gets to hang around with the team. He still gets to go to practice. He still gets to be there. But he's not on the ice playing.
Yeah,
I love Lewis. I love him very much, but I would rather him just be a presence in the locker room.
He's not for nothing. He's old. He's hockey old. He shouldn't have been playing as many games this season as he has, and he's fourth line hockey old. Like that's not even just normal hockey old. He's fourth line hockey old.
Yeah,
he played all 82 last season, which was a surprise, and he's played 48 this season, and it probably would have been all 60, 61, but he was injured.
Yeah.
So give the man a break, let him settle down.
Yeah.
Save him for the playoffs. He'll be great then.
I'm okay with scratching him and giving some of these younger guys an opportunity to play, and it's been good with those two with him being scratched. And I don't think Lewis wants to play that much, honestly. I don't think he's like Drew Doughty, where Drew Doughty is very much like, I want to keep playing. I want more. I can't get enough of it. Where Lewis is like, I can relax today.
Yeah, I can see him being he's a hockey player, so he will play. I think he has to be told not to. Just like, you sit this one out, and he goes, okay, coach.
I think he's not too upset with having to sit out some games. Gosh, I couldn't imagine playing hockey for that long and how much of a beating your body takes from all that. Like it's gotta be rough. But I'm good. I'm good with the scratching. I love that guy. He's one of my favorites, but I'm okay with the scratch. I'm good that we didn't trade him away like everybody kept wanting for. But
I had King's social media, for me at least, because Reddit was it was unbearable. Oh my god, just every other post was fire Rob Blake, fire Rob Blake, fire Rob. I was he hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah.
B, let's wait for the trade deadline to hit and see what he did. And hey, everything's been good.
No, everybody gets onto the fire Rob Blake train around this time of year, like right before the deadline. That's kind of where they get, or at right even after the deadline, they're like in the fire Rob Blake chance. And then right now it's settled down because the Kings won their first two games after the trade deadline, and the fact that Lewis got scratched and that Clark is playing and all those kinds of things. What people
two games that were back to back with travel.
Yeah.
Not much travel, but travel nonetheless.
Travel, yeah. And but I think if the Kings didn't win those 2 games and they didn't play Clark and they still were playing Lewis and all that kind of stuff, there would be some type of uproar still. And the fire Rob Blakes will start again if and when the Kings lose in the playoffs.
Yeah, if when that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Right now, with them being like, Clark's getting scratched, fire Rob, like, he has nothing to do with that. That's a Jim Hiller
But
deal.
Hiller's been saying it's upper management it's coming from.
I mean, to a degree, I sure, but he can also come back and be like, no, I want him to play, or he needs to play some. Like, if maybe they're telling him to scratch him, and he's like, no, I want him to play. Like, it's I don't know. It could be
Maybe
any
Hiller
number
needs
of
more of
different things.
a
Maybe. See, how much did Clark play last night? 14 minutes. So that's the most he's played in a while.
How much did he play on Saturday's game?
Let's see here. But they're also back to the 12 and 6.
Yeah, they're back to
So
12 and 6.
that helps
Yeah.
with the time on ice. Man, my computer is
Being slow.
it's the past few weeks.
Let me see.
It's not long for this world.
Saturday. I can see if I can pull it up. It's just nope, I don't want the Blues. I want Kings. He played 12:49 on
Okay,
Saturday.
so even more on Sunday.
He played more
So
than
we'll just have
Spence
to
did
see,
on Saturday.
which he should. Like,
Yeah.
truthfully.
And Sunday he got a freaking goal. That beautiful goal.
It was a really good goal.
It was a really good goal. A very good read by a defenseman, honestly. So he should play
Actually, while we're
more.
talking nice goals, Kempe's overtime goal was, or not overtime goal, power play
Byfield's?
goal.
I was like, Byfield got the overtime goal.
No, the power play goal.
Power play goal. Oh my God, it was so good.
I like listening to the broadcast. They're like, they don't use this breakout very often. Maybe
Yeah,
you fucking should. Like,
maybe
just
you should. I know they were trying not to use it so often so that it wasn't something that became predictable, but like, maybe we should bring it out a little bit more than we have been.
I'm just going to throw this out there when it comes to predictability. Alex Ovechkin is 9 goals away from breaking Gretzky's record. He has scored every single one of those goals from the same exact spot. Everyone knows where he is. It's very predictable. Like, who gives a shit? Use it. It works.
but
It's not rocket science.
but it is it's an people are crazy. No, but that it wasn't. Gosh, that goal was good.
It was awesome, and it was unexpected. I watched it, and I'm like, "Whoa, this is different." And then he scored. I'm like, "Really different."
That is it. It is different, but I've seen Kopitar and Kempe are just they're so good together. But they should bring it out a little bit more because we've been struggling with our power play. Yeah.
I don't want to hear predictable.
Hey, Wednesday, you're kind of being in the way. I'm trying.
It's okay. I'm cute.
Yeah, she wants to go onto the keyboard, and I'm trying to keep her from being on the keyboard because I don't know what buttons she'll push. Wednesday, Willow for once is being the sleepy one. Can you do this? Oh, okay, thank you. She's being crazy. No, but Byfield overtime winner, even though we could use that was a good one too. That was
That was very good.
yeah, it was
I
good.
was getting antsy during that because I didn't want the game to go to another shootout.
I was really hoping it wasn't going to go to a shootout. It was stressful. It was
Yeah,
very stressful.
and see, were you at the game?
Yeah.
Okay, so that changes it. Like at home, I completely just shut down when the shootout starts.
So I was at both the Blues games. And so, yeah, the shootout one, like overtime, I was already really nervous. And then when I got into the shootout, I didn't look.
Yeah,
I can't watch. I can't
I
watch.
care less and less every time a shootout happens now. Like it's great if it ends up, turning into a win, but I don't get upset at all if it's a loss. I'm just like, whatever. Like to me, once overtime ends, that's the end of the game.
Yeah, I shootouts stress me out way more than overtime. Overtime already stresses me out, but shootouts stress me out even more. And I think it's because I know the Kings aren't great in shootouts, like ever.
No, they're
Um,
not.
and so I think it stresses me out way more than overtime does. And so I literally just stood there in my like seat area, like looking down, like waiting for the people's reaction around me to tell me what happened. um, whereas then like Saturday's game with the overtime, I was stressed, but I still paid attention to what was happening and watched Byfield score his goal in front of me. So it it's a different story between the two.
Yeah. I'll never leave a game early,
Oh, never.
but if I'm
Even
there
if
with
we're being
someone
blown out.
and the shootout, it goes to a shootout, and someone's like, let's get going. I'm not going to say no. Like
I never leave a game early.
it just ruins the end of the game for me.
Even if we get blown out, like even if it's
No, for that you stay till the end. I would rather,
I stay.
but I'll watch the end of a blowout because it's the end of a hockey game. It's not the end of a skills competition. I hate the shootout.
Yeah.
Oh, it drives me crazy.
I'm one of those people that I'm like, I stand by my team. I'm gonna watch my
No.
team till the end of this game because I don't like I'm there for my team. Even
Yeah.
though and like it get I think even having just a few fans stick around because fans do just fucking leave when it's blowouts. I think
Yeah, those
having
people suck.
the moral support for your team because they're already beating themselves up. Like I think it's a good sign to have with their fans still there with them.
Yeah. And the fun part of hockey is, it can be 6-1 going into the third, and that team can still come back and win. Like it's
Yeah.
happened before. It's not the craziest thing.
No, it's not.
But
And the
yeah,
Kings have pulled off miracle games before. Not with this team, not exactly with these guys on the team, but they've done it before.
but again, that ends a hockey game. That ends with a team playing hockey.
Mm.
The shootout, like again, I'll stay. Like we're going to the game on Thursday. It
Yeah.
ends up in a shootout. Cool. I'll be there. I'll celebrate. I'll cheer every time the Kings score. But I also won't give a shit if they lose
Okay.
in a shootout. Like it's
Yeah. No.
get rid of it, go back to ties. If you can't solve it in 5, I prefer 7 to 10 minutes of overtime. But if you can't solve it, it's a tie.
Oh, I get the whole shootout thing. It's not great. It's not fun. But
And that should be the only time you get a bonus point. I've been going back through it in my head.
after our discussion,
I want a 3-2 nothing. So it's 3 points if you win in regulation, 2 points if you win in overtime. If you lose, you lose. Simple as that. No points.
no points.
None.
Oh.
If you tie at the end of overtime, then both teams get a point.
I don't know.
It's incentive to score. If you're one of those teams fighting for a playoff point and or a playoff spot and you need the points, you're going to be trying to win. You're going to be going for those 2 points. You're going for those 3 points. You're going to do whatever you can to not lose because there's no loser points anymore.
I don't know. I don't know. They mentioned that they're probably not going to do the 10 minutes.
Oh no, that's never going to
overtime. Which
no, they won't do that either. They might do 7.
I want
but it's they're
10-minute
experimenting with that.
10-minute overtime,
No,
please.
they won't do it because of advertisers.
Speaking of, we touched on Edmonton having goalie issues. Let's set Reddick down and bring Copley up. I know we won yesterday, but we could have won by a 3-goal lead multiple times.
But see, multiple times implies that it's still going to let more goals in. It's last night's game was, to me at least, like quintessential David Riddick. The big flashy saves, he made those. He makes the ones that make you go, ooh, like that, he's big save Dave. He lets in some of the softies though, and that first hurdle goal, that power play goal was brutal.
Whereas watching like Kemper on Saturday making like the simplest saves and making it seem so good and essential, just it's a different feel between the two goalies.
Yeah.
but
they're also, they're different styles. It's a whole different thing, which I get.
But let's bring up Copley.
Well, they should, and for nothing else, like David Riddick doesn't play this many games. Like that's not his style. Like he's never.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
So like let's quit trying to reinvent the wheel. Give him more games than he's used to. That's fine, but let's not give him half the season. Where are? Oh, okay. I just pulled up Ontario Reign's website. And the pictures for their goalies is phenomenal. Under the roster, Phoenix Copley looks perfectly normal. Eric Portillo looks like the goaltender from Shoresy. And Dryden McKay looks like a kid who's sticking his head in the cutout of a goalie at like hockey camp.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I know.
That has to be photoshopped. Like I'm dumbfounded by the way this kid looks.
Oh my God.
Yeah, see, you're with me.
What the hell?
If you give him a little ponytail on the top of his head, he looks like he could be in the waiting room with Beetlejuice.
Because I'm actually going to try to edit this one since the fact that I have for YouTube, since I have time. I'm sharing this so that we could show the fact of what the hell is this?
That picture does not look right.
It has to be photoshopped, right?
No.
What, like that has to be, right?
No. That's a bad Photoshop job if it is. Or that kid's got, I don't know. I don't know anything about him. I'm not gonna, I don't want to make fun of him.
I don't either, but like this is bad.
It's not looking great.
He looks like
So I came here to look at Phoenix Copley's stats. 26 games played.
Swimming in this.
Okay. It looks like he wants to grow into swimming in it. Like that's the next growth spurt.
Oh gosh. Oh my God, his birthday is the same day as mine.
Oh, there you go. Who's your new favorite player?
I'm just 4 years older than him. How funny. Gosh, yeah.
Downers Grove.
But you were looking at Copley, right?
Yes. Looking at Copley's stats. So Dryden McKay's only played 1 game this season.
He's played
and let in 4 goals.
Games.
He did not do well.
16
but Copley,
wins,
yeah,
2
Copley,
shutouts.
So he's done well.
Yeah.
And then So 28 to 2.49 goals against. Not great, not terrible. 0.9 save percentage. Again, not great, not terrible. Below NHL league average, but better than David Riddick, I'm guessing. And then Eric Portillo. Come on, load up. 24 games played, 2.8, 2 goals against, 0.89 save percentage. So basically the same stats as Phoenix Copley. Not much of a difference. Bring up either one.
Yeah. Speaking, though, of people in Ontario reign, Andre Lee signed 2 more years with the Kings.
I saw that. I'm happy to see him stay.
Me too.
A little sad to see Tyler Madden go. He was a good player, but I think he's a career AHLer at this point.
I think
and if
so
not,
too.
I hope that he does very well in wherever he ends up.
Yeah. But I was glad to see Andre Lee sign 2 more years. I heard or read somewhere that Foggy Mo is trying really hard to make it into the NHL. Like he's kind of not over the AHL, but he wants to be an NHLer, which I think he could get there.
It's his birthday this week. Look at that. Yeah, he's got 22 goals, 10 assists this season in 49 games. He's one of those players where I think he's too good for the AHL at this point.
Yeah.
He needs a better role on the Kings. He can't show up and play in the fourth line. He needs a guaranteed 4 or 5 games in the middle 6 at least.
Yeah.
Which is hard to get, especially this time of year. But
he kind of needs what's going on for Turcotte and Laferriere.
Which way does he shoot? I'm curious.
He shoots right.
He shoots right?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love having it's like we need a right shot goal scorer. Turns out there is one.
He's just in Ontario
building. But he's not. They practice at the same place. You're telling me that they couldn't look over at the other sheet of ice and go like, who's that guy? All right, let's see here. Well, potentially,
do they
depending on how the end of the season goes, Trevor Lewis, Tanner Jeannot, Andre Kuzmenko, all 3 of their deals are up at the end of the season. So that's 3 spots. That's more likely that Foggy Mo can take.
Yeah. I think he can fit in. I think he can do it. And bring up Lee. Lee is...
And the Farrier technically is in the same boat, but...
Lee is a lefty. I think those would be good. I think Laffy is going to stay. I don't think we're going to let him go. I know that they're searching for a contract deal with Gavrikov, though. A long-term contract with Gavrikov.
Yeah, they'll get that. I'm confident in that.
Gabby doesn't want to go anywhere.
Yeah, long-term can mean a few different things, but I think, 4 or 5 years at least.
I think they're looking at 7.
7 would be nice. They can go up to 8, but
yeah, but he doesn't want to go anywhere. Did you hear like the quote with that asked about like somebody going to Ohio, and he's like, nobody wants to go to Ohio.
At least he's honest about it.
Yeah, he is so happy to be in LA. I don't know if he cares about even winning the cup. He's like, I won living in LA.
I live by the beach now. I could take my kid to Disneyland. He's already making almost $6 million a year, and he's going to get a raise.
Yeah. I think he's happy. I don't think he wants to go anywhere.
And he's made so much money for himself this season by playing both sides and taking over for Doughty. He
he cemented his place on the LA Kings. Like he's not going anywhere.
Contract history. I want to see how much money he's made so far. Dun, 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 dun. Did they not have just a total? Do I have to do math? I don't want to do math. Gotta have this information somewhere. All right, well, we can round these up. So it's 3, 6, 9, 12. So he's made $24 million in his career so far. That's not bad. I wouldn't mind that.
24 mil? I would take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. 24 mil. I could actually upgrade my season seats, full season.
Okay, this is estimated career earnings 22 million. I found it. Okay. But it's, yeah, I rounded up a little bit and didn't include his entry levels. Thought that would cover it. Oh, well.
Oh, it's still,
yeah, he's going to make 7 or 8, maybe more.
Oh, yeah. He's got it. Good for him. I'm okay with Gabby.
I'm excited for him.
I like Gabby. I'm good. I'm glad he can stick around. Because
that being said, who else is? And he's the only defenseman whose contract is up at the end of this year. So Decor's set for at least one more season.
Nice. So
we say nice. I'm looking at all these players on the Reign, and they go, "Ah, shit."
Oh yeah. Like I would love to bring up Jones again.
Yeah, Jones was fun, but he,
I personally just was like, I like him as a person too. He was super nice when I met him, so I was just like, oh, I like.
There are a few of these players that I'm looking forward to seeing. Jacob Dvorak and Angus Booth. Like I wouldn't mind seeing either of them up.
Yeah, those two are good as well. Angus Booth is not going to be able to keep his number. Neither is Dvorak.
What's Dvorak wearing?
Oh, he's wearing 55. He's got Byfield's number.
We're talking about Foggymo, and he wears 11. So
I know Foggymo can't. Foggymo already knows he can't have 11. That was already something he's had to switch his number for.
At least those other guys, like if they wait long enough, they might be able to get it. Like 11's getting retired. So
11's never going to anybody else ever again. That is one player for the Kings. Like, do they have an 8 on the team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. They do. Okay.
All the good numbers are taken in Ontario. They're like, I'm going to wear it here because I'll never be able to wear it anywhere else.
Nobody's wearing 32. I hope they retire quiz. Still, I really hope they do.
I bet they do. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah. I get to see him at the end of this month. I can't wait. I miss him.
But will he be playing?
I don't know, but I at least get to see him.
Speaking of goalies playing, they Kemper better play on Thursday. As much as I want Ovechkin to break the record and score all the goals,
I'm sure Kemper's going to play on Thursday. They're probably, because I think Hiller is starting to see the issue with Riddick and is realizing that like that's not somebody we can rely on all the time. And we have 2 more back-to-back situations this month.
I think so. I think every weekend, right?
Not every weekend except for this weekend coming up.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But last time the Kings played the Capitals, it was a back-to-back, and it was Nashville, Washington, where Riddick played for Nashville, Kemper played for Washington, and yet they swapped them.
I don't know. I I think Kemper will be in net. I would be shocked if they put Riddick, honestly.
Yeah, I do think that we're likely, or more likely at least, that we've hit the point of the season where
It's going to
it's
be
Kemper playing,
most.
except for these back-to-backs.
Yeah. There was even some speculation that they were going to put Kemper in against the Knights after playing. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He's not Peter Budaj. He can't handle that workload.
We did it to Riddick.
Yeah, that shouldn't have happened either.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay, so there's only 3 back-to-backs left for the rest of the season.
See, which doesn't sound like much, except for the fact that there was, 14 total, and there's only like 6 weeks left in the season.
Yeah. So there's 3 more, and one of them is in April, and it's
5 weeks. Yeah.
Oilers Kraken. And they're both away.
Yeah. Which was the end of the season until the Calgary game got rescheduled.
Yeah. Now that one's like LA Strong night.
And all 3 of those games might end up really mattering.
Mm-hmm. For placement, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's,
so
the one upside is, like, right now Calgary's in. That can change. Seattle's out of it.
Yeah.
But let me check. I want to know, is the Kings game the Oilers' last game?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know.
I feel like we may have looked this up at one point, but we tend to talk a lot, jump all over the place, so I don't remember.
I don't think we've ever talked about it, actually.
I know we've talked about the end of the season a lot.
We have, but
why can't I just jump to?
But we haven't done. I'm going to the Oilers page schedule.
They have one more game.
Yeah, they play the Sharks.
So, Luckies.
That they get to play the Sharks is for their last game.
Yeah, because the Sharks have been just a pain in the ass for the past few weeks, where they're still losing.
We only play the Sharks one more time for the rest of the season, and that's at the end of this month.
Which the Kings will lose that game.
And it's home.
Yeah, the Kings will probably still lose that game.
It's an ESPN game. Fuck, that means I need
all
to
the more reason that the Kings will probably lose that game.
Shit, that's a game I have to go to because I don't have a way to watch it.
So far, they've put them all on.
This is just a purely ESPN. That's not an ESPN Plus.
No. Have they done it? They haven't done any of those yet, have they?
They've done
Everything's
one.
been on Plus so far. Like, I haven't missed one.
Yeah, I think this is the only one that's ESPN only.
No, well, that's stupid.
Yeah. So, which means I will be going to the game so I can at least watch it. Yay. Oh, and I'm already going to the Saturday game, though. So are you. At least I think you're going to go. The 29th.
Oh, is that the Maple Leafs game?
Yeah.
I want to, but I have not bought tickets yet.
I haven't either, but I'm just kind of waiting. Well, I'll eventually buy it. Gosh darn it. I don't want to do more back-to-backs in LA. I've been doing that so often recently.
I don't want to go to more hockey games and have fun.
I do want to go to more hockey games. I just don't want to do the drive. The drive there is bad. The drive home is.
The drive home's not too bad.
The drive there is bad. That's my issue. I don't want to do the drive.
The weekend's not too bad, though. It's better, at least.
Depends on the time of the game.
Yeah, Kings have lost 2 out of the last 3 against the Sharks. I'm not holding my breath on that one.
It's because we talked about that before, how they play down to their opponents and they play down to the Sharks.
Yeah, but at this point, the Sharks are playing up to everyone, so they're doing the opposite. Like the Sharks are doing very well. They're not winning, but they're not just laying down. And I really need them to just lay down.
Okay, well, maybe we'll end this episode with a cute note though about the Sharks. Did you see Tyler Toffoli having a sleepover
The
with
slumber party?
yes.
It's awesome.
It's so cute.
There's
He's
the
like
big brother. Yeah.
he's like adopted these kids. It's so cute. And the text exchange between him and Kat about it, just so cute. I love it. I honestly really love it.
Makes me very sad that he didn't resign in Los Angeles.
Me too. I
I
wish
was
he
really
did.
hoping he would have, but
Because then it would have been him and Turk and Laugh.
oh well.
That makes me sad. It would have been him and Turk and Laugh. Jersey. Right.
How did Tyler Toffoli end up playing on so many teams?
Not valuing him. I don't know. Because
a deep dive I might have to do at some point. Just the Tyler Toffoli trade journey.
Maybe those could be some short episodes that we do in the future, just deep diving.
Yeah.
These kinds of things. But I guess we're just gonna end on with Tyler Toffoli.
That's okay. Yeah. He's a good guy to end on.
Yeah, I like Tyler Toffoli. And we got a few more games in between here now, which hopefully maybe Ovechkin will randomly break the record at the Kings game. Who knows?
It'd be so great. It'd be so great. It's just for that. I wouldn't be mad. Like I joked about it and like, no, yeah, let him come and score 6. No, if he shows up and he actually scores 9 goals,
and Gretzky's not there to see it because
that just makes it even better.
Think it would happen.
It actually goes along great. Like it has a good Gretzky tie-in of that happening to him with his dad.
Well, and also it's almost the exact like day soon of Gretzky breaking the record when he did it.
Yeah, like we're right around the corner.
Yeah.
But Gretzky getting his 50 goals in 50 games was, or is it 50 goals in 39, I think is what he ended up with. But like his dad was coming to all the games because he wanted to be there to see it happen. And he like, don't bother coming. It's not happening tonight. And he scored 5.
Yeah.
Just saying, Ovechkin can do it.
Ovechkin can do it.
Miss it. And
he is playing the Ducks tomorrow. So maybe.
Yeah.
That will be something we talk about next week.
I'm going to be rooting for him. So.
Yep. Something to talk about next week with that. Till then. Bye, everybody.
Bye.